is, right? What do you want to do tonight?
The same thing we do every night, Pinky. Try to take over the world.
You might think that getting into the IT field is impossible without a computer science degree, but Tech Coach Ralph is here to prove you wrong. Get ready for some jaw-dropping revelations on how to break into this lucrative industry. Listen up, tech enthusiasts! Are you ready to break through into the IT field, but feel like you need a computer science degree to make it happen? Think again! Tech Coach Ralph has some exclusive, mind-blowing secrets to share with you. Get ready to be blown away by his jaw-dropping revelations on how to break into the tech industry without a computer science degree. So get your notepad ready, because Tech Coach Ralph is going to change your life forever. Buckle up, because you're about to embark on a journey to success in the IT field.
It's time!
Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. It is me, Tech Coach Ralph, where we are engineered to win. Welcome to this amazing Thursday night episode. Today is April 25th, 2024. We're like 5 days away from the end of April. We are zooming through the month and through the year. So I am, you know what, while we're here, I'm just going to go and set this timer right now for 9:30 tonight. I'll do 9:45. Let's do 9:45 for tonight, all right? And then we will wrap that up. Let me set that timer. And then when I get to the other screens, I'll set them there too. I got to find a better way to do this, but for now, it's going to be what it's going to be, all right? So 9:45 p.m. Cool. And we'll just get that started right there. All right, so welcome to the show. Tonight, we're going to be working on automating API testing using Java and rest assured. Last week, we used Python and the request library. Very, very popular library for those who are using Python. Python is a very popular coding language, all of that good stuff. Tonight, we're going to be using another very popular coding language, one that's a little bit more difficult to pick up, a little bit more heavy, but probably one of the most popular coding languages out there. Probably have some competition with C#, but I would say probably Java is one of the most popular, one of the most in demand. So like if you, even with like Java certifications, like I've never really heard of a Python certification. I'm sure there might be some out there, but I've heard people like at a company that I was before, it was a big thing for those who wanted to be developers to become Java certified. So we're going to be playing around with Java tonight. And the rest assured, getting into Maven, TestNG, all that type of stuff. But as you know, before we do that, we have to get into our announcements and our agenda for tonight. So like I said, welcome to the show. Thank you so much for spending the evening with me tonight as we get to work. All right. So with that being said, let's jump into it. So first and foremost, I'm going to how I always say I like to thank the new subscribers and all that, but a special thanks to all of the newest subscribers, all the existing subscribers, all that good stuff. I want to say thank you so much for helping us get to over 1,000 subscribers on the Tech Coach Ralph channel. And as always, those who are new, those who have been with me for a while, I really, really appreciate you guys. Like I'll highlight some people, for example, right? For Good Guy, I cannot even remember like how many subs I was at when Good Guy subscribed, but we have been in constant communication for a while. And a special thanks to Good Guy because he was letting me know that he was reaching out to me saying, hey, the stream is a little choppy and check your bitrate and stuff like that. And then I went and I checked in my settings in the application, and I'm like, oh wow, this is a big difference. So hopefully that was able to help. So thanks, good guy, for that. And hopefully that makes the stream a little bit less choppy. I saw some big differences in the numbers of what, like when it was when I changed some settings or like some bandwidth and stuff like that. So that was good to see. Hopefully that helps, But yeah, Don, another person who reached out to me a long time ago, and then throughout the time, like I've come across a lot more amazing people. Like one of my newer supporters who I feel that I've known him for a very long time, I would have to say none other than Mr. Mitch himself. And I'm sure, he likes to call himself Superman. I'm sure he'll be in very, very soon, dropping a yo, right? But always supporting and always helping. So, and there's so many other people who I've come in contact with, who I've communicated with, and I want to say that I appreciate all of you. You guys are absolutely amazing.
I appreciate you.
All right. So with that being said, let's jump into the show. So like I said, thank you to all the newest subscribers. Thank you for all those who helped us get past the threshold of 1,000 subscribers. You guys are absolutely amazing. And I want to say a big salute and shout out to my tech barbarians, none other than my tech barbarians, who, constantly putting in the work. I'll talk about it a little bit more later, but Tech Barbarian T create like so much work in just this short week. I was telling them that, you have probably learned more in the past 3 weeks than most QA people have learned in their career, So just keep on pushing. All right. How does it say in Finding Nemo? Is it keep on swimming? See, all right. Another amazing person. We got Mr. Darcel Chapman in the building already. Like so much love in this space. And I'm gonna tell you this. I met Mitch and Darcel through the Tech Niche Tips channel with Joseph and Trey. And I love hanging out over there. And if you guys aren't familiar with that channel, a lot of things, it's a lot about tech sales and things like that. Great content, great information. So you definitely want to check them. But that's where I met Mitch and Darcel, and they have been amazing supporters and amazing friends. So, this community, we help each other. And I'm like far left on the or right or whatever on the tech stuff, and they are more on the sales stuff. But if it wasn't for Tech Niche Tips and the work that they do, me and Mitch would be like, hey, like you guys got to sell so we can get some work, So, but yeah. So, anyways, I'm just shouting out all the people who do great work. There's so much negativity out there. I like to highlight the people who do great work. Okay. All right. Now let's jump into our live show schedule real quick. So Monday mornings and Wednesday mornings, we have our Coffee and Kata show. We do that at between 7:15 and 7:30, between 7:15 and 7:45. On Mondays, I go a little bit later because I like to hang out over with Tech Niche Tips, like I was saying. And then Wednesday, 7:15. We have Sunday afternoons. We're working on Terraform, where we are, building our infrastructure as code. We're going to be going live again this coming Sunday, where we're going to be continuing to build out our ECS, our Elastic Container Service with Amazon Web Services. We're going to continue building that out so that we can try a different type of deployment. Great stuff going on there. Working on load balancers. If that sounds foreign to you, come and find out, right? It sounds complicated until you actually start to do it. It gets a lot easier once you get your hands on it, okay? So come and join us on Sunday afternoons. Tuesday nights, Q&A night. If you have questions, I have answers. And I get questions, I source questions, and if you're free to call in as well. So a lot happening. So definitely join us on Tuesdays, and then Thursday nights tonight, software explorations. We are focused on QA. We're going to be working on automating APIs, this time not through Python, but through Java and Rest Assured. So come and join us, come and have some fun. And that is our live show. But wait. And what's the other one that we like to do? How does it go? Is it? I have it on my calendar. I created the thumbnail already. I haven't scheduled it yet in YouTube because I don't want to commit, but I'm going to, because I already have the date. I already have it on my calendar. I am going live Saturday morning for less than an hour. No code, no nothing like that. We are going to review the numbers for the week. Every Monday morning, review what numbers to look out for. Well, this coming Saturday, we are going to look at those numbers. We're not only going to look out for those, we're going to look at those numbers, all right? Because these are the numbers that affect our lives. So, and I can even give you a idea of what numbers we're going to be looking at, right? Let me see, where is it? Let's go here, and we're going to go to here. So we are going to be looking at the Census Bureau releasing the key housing market indicators. It includes the number of new single-family homes sold and the number of new building permits issued by the government in the previous month. We're going to be looking at the U.S. Census Bureau on the monthly report on durable goods, which measures manufacturing activity. U.S. Census Bureau, we're going to be looking at, with that, we're going to be looking at the U.S. Department of Labor. They're releasing the initial jobless claims for the previous week. So I'm just going through these on this, so based on whatever comes out during the week, my hope and my plan is to go live Saturday mornings to look at the numbers and see what they're saying, because they always talk about it, but let's see, because I'm not the best well-versed in it, but I want to be. And hopefully with those numbers, right, maybe Mitch can give us some insight on what these numbers actually mean. And we can move accordingly. All right. So that's what I'm going to be doing Saturday morning. And I've got some other ideas from some other friends of mine, or, shout out to Trap and Slay. Gave me some good ideas that we're going to figure all of that out. All right. So, but Saturday morning, I'm going to figure out the time, right? You guys let me know what would be a good time Saturday morning. It has to be before 11. All right. So it has to be before 11. So let me know and we'll figure that out. But, for no more than an hour, we're going to be going live and we'll make it work. Okay. So with that being said, let's continue. All right. Let's jump into our pre-recorded content. We have Monday's Candid Conversations. This past Monday, I spoke about how your attitude is your altitude. What does that mean? Well, based on your mindset and the way you see the world and the way that you interact and treat others, that's going to show how far and how successful you can be. So watch that video, amazing video. All right. Then we have Wednesday's software exploration. Yesterday we spoke about what controllers are when you're building APIs, when you're testing APIs, what controllers are. Like I said, I've seen controllers all throughout the repositories and stuff like that. And I was like, what does that actually mean? I'm like, well, instead of asking what that actually means, let's find out together. And that's what we did. So if you haven't seen that, go ahead and check out that video that was released yesterday, talking about controllers and APIs, how they work together. Okay. And then Fridays we have the Bug Bite, and that's where we review different, either cybersecurity stuff, bugs, and how they affected the industry, how it affected the company, how it affected the customers. Like one of my first Bug Bites was like a Nissan recall, right? And we reviewed that. So, and we just been progressing through that every single week. We've had a Bug Bite. Every single week we've had a Candid Conversation. Every single week we've had a software exploration. So tune in for that. Tomorrow's Bug Bite, we're going to be talking about how hackers were able to bypass Google and YouTube's, or Gmail's and YouTube's two-factor authentication. You don't want to miss it. And how do you protect yourself, right? So that's what we're going to be talking about. So that is our pre-recorded content. That is our live shows content. Something for everyone, something every single day. And don't forget, throughout the week, we release shorts and we release clips from the Q&A show Monday through Friday. So, answering your questions, making it in bite-sized digestible pieces, all that good stuff, right? So looking forward to seeing you there. Looking forward to interact with you in the chat, in the comments. There's so many ways to reach out to me. So go ahead and do that. All right. So shout out to the live show, the pre-recorded content, something every single day. We are putting in that work. All right. So I'm going to read the chat and then I'm going to go into what I learned this week and last week, and then we're going to get to work. Okay. So we have Mitch ask, how did the interview go today to Darcel? And Darcel says it went really well. So let's read it. Really well. Messed up on one part, but I don't think it was detrimental, but definitely a learning experience. And shout out, you know what? Win, lose, or draw, Darcel, I want to congratulate you for actually, let me move this over here. I want to congratulate you for, let me see, go here. There we go. I want to congratulate you for actually, going with it and, doing your best. And there's been plenty of interviews that I'm like, oh, I messed up on this part. And it's like, I'm like, oh, there's no chance because I messed up. And then it's like, oh yeah, we want to hire you and stuff like that. So, like you said, it's a learning experience. You put in the work and you went through the process, and I want to congratulate you and I want to salute you for a job well done. Yes, we are the best. And because are we perfect at everything? Absolutely not. But do we put in the work every single day to get better and better? Just 1% better every single day? Absolutely. And that's why I commend you and I cheer you on always. All right. So keep on working, Darcel. As Mitch told me the other day, keep on swimming. All right. Keep on swimming. All right. And Mitch says, yeah. So Mitch says, those rates are not going down anytime soon. Oh. Well, aren't you the bearer of bad news, Mitch? Aren't you the bearer of bad news? And Mitch says that we should do it at 9 a.m. Well, I'll be up. So that might be possible. That might be possible. I will keep you posted. You'll see. I'm going to schedule it by tomorrow morning. All right. I'm going to schedule it by tomorrow morning. I already have all the information. Parsing it, I might need your help on that, but you let me know and we'll go through it and we're gonna win. There is no other option. We are going to win. All right. So that is what Mitch's recommendation. Let me know if you guys agree with Mitch. Should we do it at 9 a.m.? I think that would be a good opportunity to drink some coffee, not an energy drink because Mitch has banned energy drink on this channel. So not an energy drink, but we will drink some coffee. Look through the numbers, see what it's telling us, and try to make sense of it. And that way, as we continue to review these numbers moving forward, maybe weekly, maybe bi-weekly, I don't know. And we can start getting better understanding, making better decisions, moving our money in the right spots, fortifying ourselves for any type of risks and damages that may come. All right. So that's the idea. That's the plan. Okay. So let's continue with, what did I learn this week? So this week and last week, all right, I was figuring out and learning how to write unit tests in JavaScript, right? So the app that the Tech Barbarians and I are building, I was like, I need to add unit tests to this because, hey, it's a requirement. I preach highly on unit tests, so I have to write unit tests. So figuring out how to do it in Node and things like that, it was quite a learning experience getting it to work. And then by doing that, and then pushing the code up to GitHub, I was like, well, I wonder if I can get a check to run where I was able to set up a GitHub action. Like that's the next thing. I was able to set up a GitHub action, which was pretty easy to set up to run on through Node and everything like that. So that was pretty cool. Maybe one day we'll do a video about GitHub, or we'll do a video about, or a live stream about setting up a GitHub action. What I'll probably end up doing is setting up the automation test to run through GitHub Actions as well, but we'll figure that out. Also, so I made a video back around Thanksgiving of last year on Docker and Docker file, Docker Compose and everything. But it was for a basic Express app, nothing serious. But now with the same Tech Barbarians project, I was able to combine a Mongo database, Mongo image with the app so that now all the Tech Barbarians have to do is do Docker Compose up, and it sets up the database as well as the application, connects them all together. And now they don't have to do a bunch of different things to start testing. They can just do Docker Compose up, and then boom, the app is ready to go. Docker Compose down, and then boom, it's done. So as they say, iron sharpens iron. And the way that I had to bring them, like to have them build actual, to have like actual experience, it forces me to push myself further and to learn more. So now I'm developing in Node, and I'm like, I took the class like a year or two ago, right? But I never really used it until now. And I'm like, this is like everything is preparing you for the future. And now I'm getting better, and I'm able to share with you guys the different strategies and tools that I'm using, and I'm able to help them so that they can actually build the experience that they need. So when they go into the job market, I'll see. It's unfortunate because we'll go into these programs and then these Udemy courses or whatever, and they'll tell you, okay, these are the interview questions that you need to prepare for. And then I read them, I'm like, I've never asked this question on an interview, and I've never been asked this question on an interview. I don't know where they get this from, or the tools and the technology that they're using. I'm like, who uses this? But I'll tell you this: the things that I work on a day-to-day basis, the technologies and stuff, those are like how I'm modeling what I'm helping them learn, and it's like getting as close to real world experience as possible. Some of the people that I work with, like I don't personally work with Node on a daily basis at work, but some of the people that I work with, and on their teams, they're working with Node. Some work with Docker, some work with AWS, so many different things. And it's like, how do you expand your mind? One of my tech barbarians asked me today, like, why is it that in boot camps, like if you're using Docker, if you're using Node, if you're using Mongo, why aren't they teaching this in the boot camps? I'm like, well, and don't get me wrong, they don't even teach this in college, right? But it's not appealing. It's not like, if I tell you, like, follow me here, Mitch. If I tell you, in order to get this job, you're going to have to learn a bunch of complicated stuff to where you'll be started off making like maybe $80,000 a year, $90,000 a year, depending on where you live. You're going to have to learn this really, really complicated stuff, learn how to work within the confines of this methodology, versus you can just follow this easy blueprint and you can get a job making $150,000 a year. And then you go out there and try to get it, and it's like impossible. So which one sounds more appealing? Where's the marketing stick? And that's why you'll have a bunch of people enroll in a course, all doing the same thing that doesn't mean much. So I mean, that's like, it's tough, it's tough. So during so I digress, right? So figuring out the Docker Compose things, and then fixing the defects that Tech Barbarian T caught in the application and the code that I wrote. I wrote the code, and they found defects. So any developer is going to find defects, and that's why people say, oh, QA is not needed. I wrote unit tests, and there were still defects. I tested, and there were still defects. So fixing those defects, shout out to Tech Barbarian team. And then, of course, I did the Flutter mobile development in the morning. We implemented clearing out all the fields with the widget test. Now I need to install the button. Probably work on that this weekend. Yeah, maybe I'll work on that this weekend. And then, working on Terraform, setting up the load balancers. We're almost over the line with that. So much stuff, like so many different things that are going on. Unfortunately, I've been kind of injured, so I haven't been able to do jujitsu this week. So I've had a little bit more time to work on this type of stuff. So, it is what it is, all right? So that is what I've been working on this week. Let me know, how about you? What have you been working on this week? And all this stuff that I just listed, every single thing that I just listed, totally outside of work. Totally outside of work. This is all on my own time. Not my work time. This is my work time, right? Hopefully you can understand the difference, okay? This is all on my own time. Where do you find the time? You got to prioritize and execute. All right. So, anyways, let's move on. Before we get into the show, real quick, there are memberships on the channel if you're interested. Go do me a favor though. More importantly, like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you can know every single time that we go live. If you need additional help, additional content, additional coaching, go over to www.techcoachralph.dev where you can sign up for a coaching plan and access to exclusive content to my Patreon members. All right. So as we move forward, you know what it is. We are going to get to work. I need a drink of water. All right. So before we get into it, Mitch says lemonade or kiwi lemonade is fine. But Mitch, kiwi lemonade does not provide any energy. All right. No energy for kiwi lemonade. Let me see if I can make this thinner. There we go. And Mitch also said 80 to 90K starting is good. 80 to 90K starting is good. However, the amount of work and knowledge and education to get there is like the starting line to get to 80 to 90K. I think it's a lot. The barrier is so much higher than what is led on to believe. Because the thing, just because it's in tech, the entry level is that. What I'm saying is there are no entry level roles in the United States, at least, right? Very, very rare. And to get to that 80 to 90K, you need to like boost yourself up a little past entry level where they can't easily outsource the work. That it's more convenient to have you working here, whether it's remotely or on site, which you probably get that 80 to 90K on site as well, than to try to say, oh, I just wanted to be like an entry level engineer or QA person or something like that, because it's going to be so hard to get it because you can just outsource that. And that's not even average. Average is like 40 to 70K in between there outside of tech. That's true. I agree with you. I totally agree. But yeah, so that's where we are at. That is where we are at. Okay. So, you know, all I can tell you, keep putting in that work. All right. Never stop. Never stop. All right. So we are going to, this is what we're going to do. We are going to, let me get my agenda one more time. We're going to start working. I'm going to start up the Node app, and then we're going to set up a project with IntelliJ because we're using Java. We're going to get the necessary repositories, and we'll walk through that. And during our breaks, the first break, I'm going to talk about, am I a dream killer? Am I too harsh? Am I too tough? Me? Wow. I gotta ask. Should I lighten up? And the second break, I'm gonna share what I recommend to my tech barbarians. You know, exclusive content. All right. So we're gonna talk about it. We're going to do it. All right. Let's get to work now. Let's go here, and what I'm gonna do, I am going to. Oh, I'm also gonna talk about. I think during the first break, or maybe second break, I'm gonna talk about a email that I'm subscribed to Mike Cohen, one of the pillars of Agile, and something that I read that maybe it'll be during the third break. We'll figure that out. But we're gonna read that, and it's gonna be about, you know, should you have oversized stories in your sprint? You know, so we're gonna talk about that. But yeah, let's get started. So we'll take a break at, there's an hour and 30 left. We'll take a break at like an hour and 10 minutes left. All right. And let's see. Oh my goodness. Look who's in the building. Look who is in the building. We have my guy, Pluto in the building. And Pluto will have an announcement coming soon, but just so know already, Pluto, I support you 100%. Pluto is in the building. He says, a little late. Nope. Pluto, you are never late. You are always on time. Regardless of the time you get here, you're always on time. And you might not be able to hear it, but Mitch right now is singing Ashanti. Not always there when you call, but always on time. I hear you, Mitch. I hear you. I hear you singing it. All right. Don't try it. You can try to deny it, Mitch, but we hear you. We hear you. All right. Let's go. So where am I going to start? I am going to start with let's go here. We're going to go to here, and we're going to create a new project. And we're going to call that project let's call it TCR API automation live stream. All right, there we go. And we're gonna go to, it's gonna be a Maven archetype, and we're gonna say create. Oh, wait a second. I need to choose archetype. Let's go with quick start. And we will go create. And let me move this over here. Why am I not using the mouse? All right, cool. So it is creating. Let me make this as big as possible. Let's stay on screen. All right, so what I just did was I created a new project using IntelliJ, and I gotta update the timer on this one too. Apparently, I gotta find a way around this because this is annoying. Every time I switch screens, I have to go and update this. But I will say I do like using the software though. There we go. And we'll fix it on the other screen when we get there. So, all right. So what I did was I created a new project in IntelliJ. I use IntelliJ when I am using when I'm doing Java. I use WebStorm when I am using when I'm doing JavaScript, HTML, things like that. And I use PyCharm when I'm using Python. People can use VS Code. I think VS Code works in Java. I'm not 100% sure, but I am a IntelliJ person, JetBrains person, so please forgive me. And you know what? I don't like this timer up here. I'm gonna move it, and I'm gonna we'll build it as we. Yeah, let's leave this right here. Leave that right there. But I'm gonna move this timer all the way right there. Let's leave the timer right there. Right, that's a good spot for it. I like it there. Okay, so what we have here, if you've seen any of my, which you probably haven't, but if you've seen any of my very early on live streams, when I was working with Java and stuff like that, this is the POM file, right? It pretty much manages the packages and the dependencies for a Maven project, for a Java project, right? Do you have to use it? No, but it makes your life a lot easier when you do. So we're going to get the dependencies for this project. We're going to need test and G. We're going to need rest assured, and that might be it for now. So let's get going to. I'm going to switch screens. We're going to go to the Maven repository website. All right, so this is mvnrepository.com. I'll drop it in the chat for you in case you want to check it out for yourself. But it's all the stuff that you need for using Maven and for starting to do automation or any type of coding. Not only automation, any type of coding in Java. MVN repository is going to be one of your bestest friends in the whole wide world. Okay, so let's go. I have to get the soundbite. Did we just become best friends from Step Brothers? That's going to be a good one. Note to self: get soundbite for did we just become best friends? I should add that to my AnyDo. Anyways, let me get the timer up on this one too. Where is the timer? Oops. gonna move that one down here. Make it a little bigger. And there we go. And we're gonna go to 945. There we go. Boom. There we go. Now we're at it. All right. So MVN repository, right? I'm going to look for TestNG. TestNG is going to be our testing framework, which allows us to execute and run our tests, whether we're doing Selenium automation tests, or we're doing unit tests, or whether we're doing what's the other one? Our API test. And I haven't used Java in a while, so it might be a little rusty on it, but it is what it is. So we're going to go over here, and I'm going to get rid of the JUnit one. JUnit is used mostly by developers. I know QA people were very big on TestNG. I don't know if developers have come around yet to using using TestNG yet, but I know they were huge on JUnit. So it is what it is. Let's see. Okay, let's copy this thing. Get rid of this whole one over here. And there we have it. So now we have TestNG in here, and it's showing that it's not found, and that's because we haven't fully imported this yet, right? But we're gonna go back to the other screen, and we're going to get the rest assured library. Well, actually, before we even get rest assured, right? I'm gonna go to the rest assured website to see what else do we need. Let's see. And that's how we'll look at this a little bit more deeper as we get into it, but let me see if there is. So there goes the dependency for that. Okay, cool. I'll just get it from, I'm just checking. I'll just get it from, let me see. Let's see. So let's just read this, all right? So rest assured. Let's find out exactly what rest assured is actually, right? And then we'll get into it. So rest assured, testing and validating REST services in Java is harder than in dynamic languages such as Ruby and Groovy. Rest assured brings the simplicity of using these languages into the Java domain. For example, if your HTTP server returns the following JSON at localhost 8080 auto ID, this right here, you can easily use rest assured to validate interesting things from the response. So at test, which could be for JUnit or TestNG, and then Lotto, resource, all of that. When, and it uses like a Gherkins type language. When, and then get the Lotto with the ID, and then you get a status code of 200, and then you verify that the body is equal to 5. The body Lotto ID is equal to 5. Lotto.winners.winner ID has items 23 and 54. So equal to 5 has items 23. Lotto ID equal to 5. 23. I don't see 54 in there. That could be wrong. Anyways, winners ID has 23 and 54. Got it. All right. So that's that, right? Let's get to setting this up. And although they have it on this getting started page, I still prefer to get it from the MVN repository, but let's start reading, right? So Maven Gradle users add the following dependency in your pom.xml file, includes the JSON path and XML path. What's the difference between the two? Okay. So this one is just the JSON path. This one gets JSON and XML. And although we probably don't need XML for this, we're just gonna get this one, right? It's easy enough. So we're gonna go here, and I'm gonna type in rest assured. And we're gonna click on the first one. Click on this. And we're just going to copy this right here. And we're going to go over to the other screen. And we're going to paste that dependency in here. So now we have rest assured and we have test and G. Now in Maven, we're going to go to this little, I don't know if you can see it, right? But we're going to load Maven changes so that it can download the latest libraries for us. And you see how it says downloading dependencies. If I expand that, you'll see all the stuff that it's getting in here. Rest assured stuff. Probably test and G stuff right here. And once that's done, our repository is going to be ready to go. Okay, or not our repository, but our project is going to be ready to go. So it's done. And now if we go into, like, we can go into the test folder. I'm going to get rid of this. And I'll get rid of that here too. Now that we're going to do anything in main, like the reason that this structure is like this, for those who are not familiar with, you know, programming and stuff like that, but inside the source, you have a main folder and you have a test folder, right? What happened to the Java? Did I get rid of something I shouldn't have? Okay, I deleted the directory for Java. No, I want to delete this one. Okay, so the reason that I have inside the source folder, I have a main and I have a test. The code, the code for the application that you're building would go inside of the main folder. So like, let's say developers and QA engineers are working in the same repository. Developers would be writing the production code inside of main. They would be writing their unit test inside of test, inside of the Java, inside of test inside of Java. And QA would also be writing, if they're using the same repository, be writing their automation testing inside of the test folder as well. And then like you can have tests for unit tests, you can have for automation tests, you can have tests for API, right? So let's say let's just say we're going to create a package in here, and I'm going to say unit. And I'm going to do another package. And I'm going to say new. Well, no, I take that back. Let's go with the domain naming convention, right? Let's say we were to do com.techcoach, or let's do dev tech coach Ralph. And then in here, let's say I do another package and I'm going to do unit, and I do another package and I'm going to do UI, and I'm going to do another package and I'm going to do API. And we're going to be focused on the API test, right? So I want to say let's do a Java class, and I'm going to name this live stream JSON server test. And it's going to take us into this class. Now, however, I need to start up the my goodness. All that I was showing, you guys have no idea what I was showing. All right. So I'll just do it over again because I was talking through it. You couldn't see it. So let's do it over. Let's do it over, right? There's no love loss. No love loss. All right. So let's just delete that altogether. And what I was saying was inside of the source folder, there's main and then there's test. The developer is going to be writing their production code inside of the main folder. Developers and QA are going to be writing the different type of tests inside of the test folder. So that includes unit tests, that includes unit tests, that includes UI tests, that includes API tests, whatever other tests that there might be, maybe database tests, things like that. Those are going to be inside of the test folder. So what we're going to do, so what I did was I said, I'm going to create a package, and I'm going to call it dev.techcoachralph. And then I'm going to say the first one .unit. If we were to have unit tests, and then we're going to do another package, and we're going to call that UI, and then we're going to do one more package, and we're going to call that API, which we'll be working on the API test today. And I am going to do a new class, and we're going to call that class live stream. And when you're coding in Java, your class names start with a capital letter, and then they go camel case after that. We're going to do live stream and then JSON server test. And let's do that, add that. All right, so inside of the API test, we have a live stream JSON server test. We also need to start our JSON server. So I don't even remember how to do that. I always forget. All right, so let me search it up real quick. There we go. And I'm going to open up a terminal. I can do it here. And if we go here, we go to cd WebStorm JSON server. And to start it up, we're going to do npx JSON-server db.json. All right, so our localhost is running. We have our endpoints. So we can start testing. Now I can even move this off the screen to another screen. And we can say, all right, so what test are we going to write? I'm just going to write it out here first, and then we'll write the code. So post request to, let's do comments endpoint. That's one test right here. In Java, the tests go inside of the class, and we're going to say another get request to comments endpoint to see what we have in there. And then we could probably do, this would probably be get all comments. So all I'm doing right now is writing out the idea of what we're going to do, right? So let's say add a new comment, patch request, update part of a comment. I think that's what the patch does. And then put request update the entire comment. Right, so that's what we're going to pretty much be doing. Those are going to be separate tests, each of them. Okay, and what we can start off doing, I think we're almost at time, but let me see. We're almost at time, but we can at least start getting this set up, right? So when we're using TestNG and we're using Java, we're going to need an annotation for test, and we're going to say that one, and then we're going to say public void, and we're going to call this one get all comments. So when you're writing out the method name, call them methods in Java, the G is going to be lowercase, and then it's going to be camel case after that, right? Get all, and proper syntax is very, very important. And syntax changes between different languages. So in Python, you're going to be using underscores to celebrate words. All the words are lowercase when you're doing the function name. So in Python, we'll call them functions. In Java, we'll call them methods. Same thing, but you're going to be using underscores in Python, and in Java, and probably in C# as well, you're going to be using camel case. All right. So get all comments, and then here, and then we're going to say here. So, and then in Python, we wouldn't be using the parentheses, and you'd be using the quotes. Actually, no, you do use the parentheses, but you would put a quote and then not these little brackets right here, right? So keep that in mind. Okay, so we have that, and so now we're going to say I'm gonna write out our steps, right? But we're at time. We are at time. Let's take a break. Let's take a break. So let me know what you think so far, right? Tons and tons of information. We're going fast, but this is not, I repeat, this is not, it's not a course or a tutorial or a boot camp or anything like that, right? There's tons of places you can get this information. This is just showing you how it works, how to get started, things like that. But if you want to learn this type of stuff, you have to choose which language you want to do it in. And then you want to go course by step by step of through the course, right? They're not going to teach you this in college either. So, and that's why I always tell you people, you want to I would recommend, going to college, getting your education in something valuable, some type of STEM field. Not what makes you feel good, but what's actually going to make you live good. Quote that, Mitch. That's copyrighted, right? Don't go after what's going to make you feel good. Go after what's going to make you live good. And that's by Tech Coach. I might use that for our quote of the day tomorrow at work. I don't know. Anyways, I digress. So it's not to teach you, it's to help you expand your mind and know what to go after, know what to get into. Okay. So that's what we're doing here. But let me see, where's my agenda? What did I want to talk to you guys about? First, I'm going to read the comments, right? Let me see, anything in the comments right now? We have Pluto, like I said, we have Pluto in the building. Pluto and Mitch were saying, let's see, where are we? Wow, there's a lot of conversation going on here. Okay, there you go. Let's go. All right, let's start here. So Pluto said, I was watching the CISO C-Suite Information Security Officer interview. Guy said being broad helped him, but advised to specialize for newcomers. It was annoying, had to call him out. You remember we had that conversation, Pluto? We had that conversation a few months ago. And Pluto said, if being broad helped and tools is what matters, why recommend specialized, for example, identity and access management, when it's only maybe 5K of open jobs for that? That is a good point. Yeah, so Mitch, I am engineer. That is like my most popular video on this channel. Why? I don't know. Why, right? That one hit the algorithm and people loved it. That video did me numbers. But yeah, identity and access management. It is about like authorization and authentication. Who can access the system, whatever system that is, and what are they allowed to do once they have access? So keeping people out and letting people in, and the people who are allowed in, where they are able to go. So for example, you have your home, and you have locks on your home, and probably an alarm system, maybe a couple of artillery to keep people out, whatever the case may be, right? So that is your authentication. Who can come in, who can come in, and who cannot come in, right? Now, inside the home, you have authorization. Who can go into what rooms? Who can go into what safes? Who can get into the computers? Who can do what? How much they can do and stuff like that. So that is like that's a breakdown of the identity and access management. But break it down into tech, they manage like digitally who can, all that good stuff, right? So Pluto says, yeah, I am specific work titles in general. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, because like the thing with it depends on industry, right? So if it's like one of those really regulated segmented industries, then there's going to be some roles for that. But it can kind of be spread out throughout the IT industry sometimes, Pluto says it's a subset of cyber jobs. Issue is most jobs is being broad skill sets. So SecOps, IM, GRC. Yeah, like when we were talking about it, it's hard to learn broad, but I see it as you go on, your knowledge is and your scope is gonna get broader. So like you'll start narrow because you're trying to figure it out. When on Tuesday's stream, we're looking at that roadmap to QA, And that confused me. I could see that. I could see me using that to help somebody on their path that they should take. But for me to give that to somebody, that would super confuse them because it's like so much stuff. Wow. So I think people do start narrow. Like they'll come out of college to get a software engineering job, very basic knowledge, and then as they continue, they learn more and more and more. But yeah, interesting. So Mitch says, "I know what it is. I'm just wondering if that's what you were." Yeah, that's what he's talking about. I am engineer. Um, and Mitch says, "I know some I am engineers working 2 to 3 jobs." There's a YouTube video that I saw that someone said as an I am engineer they're making like 400 or 500K. Do I believe it? Probably not. Probably not. But who am I to say? Who am I to say? And Pluto says he has a job interview tomorrow. If he gets it, that's a second job. You see? My friends get interviews while people are, looking around, looking for opportunities. My friends go out there and they put in the work and they get interviews. And Mitch says, as long as you don't get caught. Ralph doesn't like the overemployment life. Look, Mitch, I work like 16, 18 hours a day. What are you talking about? And I know how Pluto's going to be able to do it. All right. I know how Pluto's going to be able to do it. So he is not going to be, he's not doing anything wrong. All right. So let's put some respect on his name. All right. Put some respect on his name. There's no way he doesn't like overemployment. He's part of the bag chasers. Bag chasers for life. And Mitch says he really doesn't. I'm serious about how I work like 16 hours a day. What are you talking about? And he says, firstly, as long as you're not a deadbeat coworker and not contributing anything, I think it's fine. Yeah, I mean, the only thing I said about overemployment is when people were working their regular job at the same time as they're working their other regular job, and now they're not producing, they're not doing their job. And now that's making my prices go up, So if you are working for Amazon or Walmart, then during those hours work for Amazon, and then after you get off that job, go to your second job, right? I don't want because you're causing defects and bugs because you can't focus on the job. That's my issue with it. But if you are, focusing on one job at a time, then I'm with it. All right. So there you go. And Pluto says, as we already know, I'll top perform in both jobs. It doesn't even have to be said. And Pluto says, nothing wrong with gender studies undergraduate. I feel good at 15K per year. Thank you very much. Hey, if you like it, I love it. And Mitch says that's probably one of the easiest to get into the cyberspace. They have gender studies in cyberspace? I don't know. Maybe it's me. Anyways, and Mitch says, I think I know the video you're talking about. Channel is a B. I don't know. That's what I saw. I'm talking about jobs, and that's what I'm talking. Anyways. So what I wanted to let me see. What did I want to talk about? So I wanted to talk about. So where's my? Am I a dream killer? So, why do I ask if I'm a dream killer? Because I will see people have these huge aspirations and goals and dreams and stuff like that. And then I look at the work that they're actually doing and I'm like, how do you expect to reach those high aspirations and dreams and goals when you're not doing anything. Here's the thing that I find. All right, here's the thing that I find absolutely amazing. The people who should have like, who actually put in the work and should have that high confidence and like they should be going for it. They're the ones who are unsure about themselves, and they're like, "Oh, I don't know if I'm ready for this yet. I don't know." Like, they want to be very reserved. While the ones who, from my vantage point, from my perspective, they don't really know what they're doing yet, and like they don't they don't know. They don't know yet, right? Like they're very green. They want to go for the highest heavy hitting positions and like shoot for the stars. And I'm like, I don't have a problem with people shooting for the stars. But the problem that I have is when you don't put in the work to reach the stars. Am I a dream killer? Yes, because I don't believe in dreams. What? What? What do you mean don't believe in dreams? I don't believe in dreams. But don't you dream at night? Maybe sometimes. Like, but you know, there's some people who are really big on, oh, I had this dream and this means that this is gonna happen. Or I can't believe how many times I heard this, like, oh, you know, I had this dream and they call like, are you pregnant? Or something like that. I'm like, oh, they don't ask me if I'm pregnant. Well, maybe now they can. But anyway, I digress, right? They like, based on a dream, they'll have some type of, you know, vision or something like that. And for me, whatever comes out of a dream, I'm like, maybe I ate something bad or something like that. I don't really put much stock into dreams. But am I a dream killer? I'm gonna go with yes, because I don't believe in dreams. I believe in goals. Because there is no real action that happens while you are asleep. Dreams happen when you are sleeping. Right? Dreams happen when you're sleeping, not when you're awake. Unless you're daydreaming, but you're still kind of sleeping while your eyes are open or whatever like that, you know? But dreams happen while you're asleep. I'll go back to this in a second, right? But I believe in goals, firmly believe in goals. You have to set, because goals are actionable. What's a plan to reach your dream? Like, you know, people, oh, you know, I want to be an actor, actress, whatever. And they just move to California. And then they end up on the news living in one of those tent camps and stuff like that because they chased their dreams and they chased them right into a homeless tent camp thing. But goals, you can if you have you ever heard of SMART goals, right? You can set goals and have a clearly path to follow. And that's going to get you closer to those goals. Will you reach those goals completely? Maybe not. You might have to pivot on the way, whatever the case may be. But it's going to get you a lot closer having a game plan than just having than something that you just do when you close your eyes and you sleep at night. And that's why maybe I am a dream killer. Because I look for the work that is being put in. Not how you feel about it, but the work. I was thinking about this today. One of my favorite content creators, Anton Daniels. I was trying to think like what was the thing that he said that I was, oh wow, I rock with him, right? And it was on another channel that he used to be on, and this young guy called in and said, oh, you know, my dreams of doing this, my dreams of doing that. And one of the ladies on the panel was like, oh yeah, you should follow your dreams. And then Anton comes on and says, man, F your dreams. And I was like, exactly. You're right. Anyways, I'm going. Anyways, that's how I feel about dreams. Like, you know, forget your dreams. What are your goals? I'll tell you this. When I was in high school, the way that I passed college algebra, it wasn't that I dreamed about passing college algebra. It was that I was dreaming about, in my dreams, I was solving the problems. Now, that sounds like a pretty useful dream to me. That's working while you're sleeping, right? So, am I a dream killer? maybe, but I'm a goal setter, goal crusher. All right. Let's get to the chat real quick, and then we'll get back to work. Lots of things to do, little time to go. So, we have Mitch says, if you can't remember a dream, it isn't real. You know, so, and sometimes I'll be like, oh, that was a good one. And then like, I got to go tell somebody, and then you don't remember what it is, right? And it says, dreams, wishes, stars, motivation, and all that crap is BS. Do or die. It's whether you want it or not. As Jeezy said, the sky's the limit. Let's get it. Pluto says, I will say though, dreams can help get ideas for the goals. That should be incorporated into the agile lifestyle and set goals and act on it. See, and that's what I was just saying. Once you have a goal, then you can start dreaming about different ways of accomplishing that goal. Now you wake up and you get to work. But just dreaming about, oh, you know, I want to make $1 million. And then you wake up and then you sit on the couch and watch Netflix all day. Your dreams was absolutely useless, worthless, pitiful. Okay. And it says, I take notes after I wake up. That is a good strategy. And dreams reflect your current reality after all. I don't know about that all the time. Because sometimes some dreams that you have, they'll be like, I don't know. And have you guys ever had the dream where you're just like floating? Like I used to have that dream in college all the time. Like, I feel like I'll be like elevating off the bed and I'd just be like floating. And I felt so weird. I'd like force myself to wake up. And just I haven't seen the back of my eyelids since 2000. That's a long time, Mitch. That is a long time. And Mitch is an AI. Yes, he is an AI. We already knew that though, right? So let me know. Have you had those dreams where you feel like you're just like floating and stuff like that? Oh, I hated those dreams. I'm so happy I don't dream anymore. So maybe that's why I'm a dream killer, because maybe I don't want you to dream about floating. I want you to dream about success and then go out there and get it. Okay. So that's just me. That is just me. Okay. Let's get back to work tonight. All right. That was just my rant. Just my rant. Okay. And then maybe in the next segment, we'll talk about the Mike Cohen article. All right. So we're going to start here. Let's see where. So we are going to. So first thing we're going to do, we're going to send a GET request. And I am going to go over to this screen so that we can, this is not the one that we need this one. So we have this installed. Let's scroll down some more to get started. If you want to validate JSON response conforms to a JSON, we don't have to do this right now. Let's see, we got to get to, all right, let's go back. And usage guide, that's what we want right here. So to get started, and there's so much stuff like as the developers are building the APIs, you're going to like everything that you're going to need is going to be inside of this documentation. Like I did some crazy stuff with rest assured, chaining responses and commands and all this type of stuff. Like it was crazy. But let's get started. So we're gonna import these. Let's see. In order to use rest assured effectively, it's recommended that you statically import methods from the following classes. So we're gonna copy this, and let's see what else we're gonna need to do. And assume that the GET request. Cool. So, all right, cool. We are going to go to the other screen now. And we are going to import, in here. Okay, so what we're doing here, we're importing these packages into these into the class so that we can use them. All right. So let's see. Then the next thing that we're gonna do is Let's see if we get the actual code. So if we say, where's the actual thing for it? I don't like this. Let me find a different one. Let's see. Let's get some resources. Let's see here. Which is a good one to use? Check this one. Just want the basic code. There we go. This is a good one right here. So this is what I was looking for. So setting up the base URI. So this is pretty much saying the base URI, which is going to be like localhost 3000 / comments. Or I won't even put the / comment. I'll just leave it at localhost. And then we'll say rest assured given. So they're going like they're putting the whole URL as the base URI, but I'm going to just have the locals, and then we're going to specify like the endpoints. I think we're good to get started. All right. So just wanted to see that because I haven't used this in a long time. So let's say we go over to here, and I'm going to outside of this. I'm going to put the rest assured dot equals. Okay, what is this error that's giving me? Unknown class. Maybe static, maybe? Let's see. What if I put it inside for now? We go here, rest assured dot base URI. I should have been able to put that on the outside though. Equals, and then we're gonna say HTTP / localhost / 3000. Why didn't let me put this on the outside? So weird. I'll revisit that. I should be able to put it on the outside from what I remember. But anyways, let's go here, and then we're going to go to how did I used to do this? So let me see. I don't like this. Let me see something. Can I just do base URI? Let's see. All right, let's see. So we have this here, and then we're gonna do I don't like this guide. Hold on. Let me switch it. There goes a good one, probably. Medium size are normally pretty good. Let's go here and need one request. There we go. That's what I wanted. All right, so we have here, and we're gonna do response equal or response response here, and then we're going to say equals given, import given, and then dot when. Rest assured path JSON. So this should be all right. Let's get rid of this. Let me do import static rest assured or IO dot rest assured dot rest assured given. That's the one that I want. So now when I go to do given over here, and I do dot when, and then we're gonna say dot. So with the when, that's where you'd set your conditions. Which is the get. And we're going to say inside the get is going to be slash comments. And then we're going to do, it's got a notification, drink some water. Water, Mitch, it's water. Okay. Comments. And then we're going to say to then extract response. And then I just want to do, let's do a print, or going to be sout. System out print, we're going to say response. Let's just see what that's going to print out for us, right? And we can just run this real quick, see if we get any errors, what happens. Java error release version. What in the world is that? Hold on, let's see what's going on here. Java release version 5 not supported. Module SDK 20 doesn't support of what? Upgrade language version and Maven build file to 20. What are they talking about? Hold on. See how long I haven't used Java in? What is this? Project downgrade, project error compatible. All right, let's try that again. Did not see that coming. Try that again. Reload the project. Try that one more time. There we go. Look at that. All right. So the response returns this. So we're gonna have to do something like return response that status code for one. Let me that again. And then we can do a sout. Response dot. Let's see, body. And now let's run that again. So we got a 200, but the body is not. Maybe it's this one. Yeah, I think it's that. Let me see. I think I'm gonna have to add our next break. What time do we start? We'll take another break around 30. All right. So now if we were to move this up, and there it goes. There goes a comment in here. So it's double printing because I had to print. Shouldn't double print though. One more time. All right. So we have our status code returning to us. We have our information here being returned to us. So we could do some type of, I mean, we not that we could, we will do some type of validation, right? I remember that the tool, for lack of a better word, the library that we would use for validating the APIs was it was called Hemcrest. Let me take a look to see if they recommend anything on the rest assured side. But we have actually made an API call, a very basic API call. You know, our base URI. We have our, I don't know why they won't let me put it outside of the method. We have our base URI. We have the requests that we're making, and then we're printing out what is giving back to us. But we want to get some validation on there, some assertions. So let's see. Do I have anything in here? All right. So you should place rest assured before the JSON unit dependency in your POM in order to make sure that the correct version of Hamcrest is being used. Should place the. Well, I'll do that. Although I'm not using JUnit, but I'll put it before it anyways. Let's take rest assured. We're going to move it up to the top. I'm just doing that on the screen. I don't have to switch for that. All right. So I just did that. Now let's see. Do I have anything about assertions in here in JSON? Rest assured matchers. Let's see, usage guide. And we are looking for verifying response data. All right, there we go. So assert that. So the cookies. All right, so we're gonna be using assert that. We're going to be using content type, and then parsing through the response. We're just gonna play around with this a little bit. So we'll pretty much play around with this till for the end of the stream after our break, and we'll also use that HTTP bin to get some error messages, stuff like that, and just so you can see like an idea of how it is, how similar it is to what we did in Python. It is a little bit more of a learning curve for Java. As you can see, it's much more verbose and things like that. But Java is one of the most in-demand languages out there. It can build all types of applications, desktop applications, web applications, things like that. So it is a good language to be familiar with. Okay. All right. Let's see here. And let's go. All right. So I'm going to switch back over to the other screen. And I'm going to refresh the dependencies. And Java was like I've been using Java since 2014, 2015 ish, doing automation, and built out whole entire frameworks with it, integrating with Google, like with Google Developer Console, different reporting libraries, things like that. So it does some amazing stuff. Like always, my first love. All right, let's go here, and we're gonna say, and I'll just be like referencing back and forth, but we're going to say that let's get rid of this, and we're going to say, let me go to run. I can see what happened. We're going to say that. Let's see how we want to do this here. Response dot. Let's see. So we have the response. And we want to verify the status code at least. So okay. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take it as up to here. And so this is what I used to do, right? I would say validatable response. And then I would build off of that, right? So let's say we say response. And then from here, I would say I can do extract. I can do whatever, right? So I'm going to say body, or let's go with assert that, and then status code is 200. So let's run this real quick. Let's get a quick win. All right, so it passes. We're able to get all the comments. And now let's continue. And let's say we get, I'm going to change the name of this to get all comments response. I like to have very clear variable names to know exactly what it is that we're doing. And then we're going to say get all comments response dot, and we're going to go with and try this. Content type is content type dot JSON. And in Java, you have to close. Like, there's no option. You have to close the line with a semicolon. You have to close a statement with a semicolon. Let's run again. We already have one part of the API test. Now we're just adding a second validation. That should pass as well. There we go. So we have two validations here now, right? We are API testing in Java. Yes, we are. All right. So now if we continue down this road, we have, let's go with another one, get all comment response. And we're going to say, so in the documentation that I'm looking at, right, they have it all the way starting from the like get request all the way to the validation. But no, I don't want to write this whole thing over and over and over again and then make it do a bunch of API calls. I want to just take this response that's being stored, and then I want to do my different type of validation on that. So we could say that, let's see, what other validation can I do here? So let's do this, right? I should have printed this out. Let me see. Let's print it out. Let's say out get all comments dot extract dot body dot. Let's try that one. Let's see what that gives us. And this one, comment that out for now. I just want to see what some of the I want to see what the body looks like so we can use that. All right, so ID and post ID, body, some comment. All right, we're about to go to break. Let's just do this one real quick. We're gonna say here dot body, and then we're going to say matcher. And I remember how to do the matchers thing. So when we come back from break, that's what we're gonna look into. How to do the matchers so like we can customize our, because there's some really cool stuff that you can do with it. I just have to look it up because it's been a while since I've done that. All right. So let's go to break. And then we'll come back from break at once we're done talking, hopefully around like 20. And then we'll do our last segment of the day before we wrap it up. Yeah. So let's see anything in the chat. So Pluto said that I used to have sleep paralysis and astral projection kind of experiences. Yeah, I think I used to have those too, especially when I was in college. But it might have been because I was up too late playing Madden when I was in college. So that might be it. It was an interesting time. I remember one time in college. I had to get to calculus class. I think it was calculus. Was it calculus? Because I like calculus. It might have not been calculus. But I got to campus like an hour early, and I said, I'm just gonna go to the gym real quick and play some basketball. Oh God, sorry for using basketball, Mitch, but so I'm just gonna get to the gym, play some basketball. I'm gonna play because the gym was closer to the calculus class, and I'm like, all right, let's do it. Start playing, and then I'm like, all right, let me go to calculus class. It was 2 hours had went by, and I'm like, oh man, well, I guess I got another game in me, right? Yeah, that was not a good thing. That was not a good thing. But I did pass calculus though, and sometimes I still have these dreams that I'm supposed to be in class, the class that I didn't go to. I don't know. It's weird. Anyways, I digress. And what else do we got? Mitch says energy drinks had you floating. I don't even think I drank energy drinks when I was in college. And then Pluto says Red Bull gives you wings. And Mitch, of course, he has to say, and put you in the hospital too. Mitch, did you have like bad experience with energy drinks? Like, did something happen that you hate energy drinks so much? I don't know. And then just here we go, talking about basketball again.
Bruh.
What can I say? Anyways, so the thing I want to talk about, right, is what do I recommend to my tech barbarians and the people that I coach, people that I talk to, right? So what I was saying today to one of them, and I've said it to many, right? If you want to go into, let's say, and this is very specific to QA. It can apply to other things, but very specific to QA. So you want to get familiar with the technologies that you are going to be testing and working on. So what does that mean? So if you're going to be testing like web applications, then I would suggest, which you can do whatever you want with it, but I would suggest that you learn web development, CSS, JavaScript, HTML, Mongo, and you don't have to be an expert in it, right? But you need to know enough how to navigate, how to understand the dialogue, how to understand the things like that, so that when the development team is speaking, you can actually contribute to those conversations, and you can understand. You're not looking lost. You don't have to be an expert in those things, but I think it's important that you and it's not only for QA. I don't think any person who's not like writing the code, the more you understand about what the developers are doing, the more knowledgeable and more informed and more you can contribute into these discussions and into the ideas and into the success of the company and of the customer. Without any customers, there is no company. Without the company, you have no job, right? And here's the other thing: getting that exposure, especially like from the QA perspective, getting that exposure to like web development, database type stuff, you can start to expand your skills, expand your knowledge, and that's where that broadness that Pluto speaks about is going to grow, because a lot of and that's the thing with my favorite thing to talk about, right? As Mitch will tell you about with the boot camp and stuff. They're very specific to, this is how you write test cases. And I'm talking about QA, right? But this is how you write test cases. This is how you you write a defect or a bug or whatever you call it. Here are some scenarios like negative stuff, and then if you're an IISTQB enthusiast, then you're going to be talking about Pythagoras theorem or something like that. I don't remember the name about it, right? They have these crazy names. But I'm like, all right, what about the work? So if you're testing a Node application, do you think you're in a better position if you know about Node, how it works, how to start up the application, how to navigate through the code base, even if you're not like writing the code? Or are you in a better spot if you just know how to do some specific tasks, but you don't know what you're working on? You don't know what these things mean. Would you find it useful to be able to read through the code and not understand exactly, but like, okay, these are the unit tests. These are what they're doing. Like if you were able to build a basic app in Node where you can at least start it up. And now with that knowledge, you go so much further. So that's why I always say, like, get familiar with the applications, with the languages, with the tools that you're going to be using for your testing purposes, so that you can add more value. You can be a lot further along than those who only want to say, this is all I'm going to be doing. I'm only going to be doing manual testing. I'm only going to be writing test cases, stuff like that. No. I advise those that I coach that you want it all. There is no limitations that it's going to be placed on us. We want to get it all. All right? And putting yourself in the best position, and that's where I agree with Pluto, like broadness and like expanding your learning, expanding your horizons, being able to pivot, and that's why, like, here's the thing that happens. Like, you'll see a lot of developers, they go to becoming, SDES and stuff like that, but they don't have any concept about testing. But if a QA engineer, as you grow and as you get better, you can always pivot and do both, but you have a better understanding and your development skills. If you decide to become a developer at some point, your development skills are going to be even better because you had that testing mindset behind you. So many benefits to like always learning new things, expanding your horizons. When you first get started, you might not be able to do it because it's like so much information. But as you continue, like, and I'll tell you, like I said, within a month, my tech barbarian is understanding so much more of these concepts. Right? You have to expand. You can't like tools. For example, you can start off with a hammer, but then you're gonna get a screwdriver. Then you're gonna get like maybe a drill and all these like and then you find out you have a whole garage full of tools that you use like every other month, every like twice a year, but you because you need it at a time. Now you have a whole tool set. So and I think that's what Pluto is saying. All right, let's read the chat and let's get back to work, and then we'll finish off the show with reading that email that I was telling you about. All right, so where are we at now? Let's see. So Pluto says, little bro wants my laptop for work, but he didn't do the task I gave him, which is learn Python 6 months ago. No laptop for you. All right, nothing. You don't get anything. All right. If you don't do the work, you get nothing. He gets nothing. He gets nothing. If he doesn't do the work, why do you I do not believe in rewarding bad behavior. You learn Python, you get the laptop. You don't learn Python, you get absolutely nothing. And it says, I'm thinking of telling him why he wait last minute. Hey, I'm thinking about telling him absolutely nothing. My laptop stays with me. Those who put in the work are those who are deserving. Okay. You should study to show yourself approved. And he says, nah, man, I know how bad they are. Mess with your heart. Yeah, I know, Mitch. I know. But you want to drink them? That I'm not drinking them. All right. I'm not drinking them. And Pluto says, it's a 2K laptop. Don't think I was asking for it. I don't think you're asking for, this is the problem. This is the problem, Pluto. You are asking him to do what was in his best interest. That's the problem. You ask him to do what was in his best interest, and usually when you ask him to do what's in their best interest, you make him recommendations. Like so many times, I you should do this, you should do that. Like you have this skill set, you can pivot like right this little small spot and learn this, and you can go and you can do great things. Nope, they just want to say exactly where they are, and then once they fail, once they lose, they want you to feel sorry for them. They want you to have a pity party, and I'm like, nope, no pity party for you,
Bruh.
All right, and it says. Now he needs it for school this summer and about to be like, nah.
Bruh.
Nope. You gave him a task to do. And like I said, Pluto, do not reward bad behavior. You asked for the minimum and he didn't do what he was supposed to do. Nope. Not happening. You like I said, am I too hard on people? I don't think I'm hard enough. See? And it says rewarding for laziness part. Nope. And it says, yeah, he wants to be a computer engineer. And I'm like, well, start doing and I'll wait and see. Like, and that's what I was talking about earlier, right? They say, oh, I want to do this. They have a dream to do this, right? And then it's like, okay, well, this is what you got to do. They don't do it. It's like, you have to pay me first and then I'll do the job. I forgot what stream was the other day. I was talking about what if the job was like, oh, we're gonna pay you for the year, right? So let's say you're making 100K a year. Like we're gonna the deal is you get the 100K up front for the year, and then you have to work the 52 weeks without ever getting a paycheck. Some people, if they pay them the first 2 weeks, they wouldn't show up to work. So you got to do the work first, and then you get paid for it. That's how it goes. Mitch says, "Did you say data?" I don't think anybody said data, Mitch. You're just getting excited. And Pluto says, "Yeah, get familiar and then span out on the toolset. Once you understand a bit, try to build a copy of the app in your own way to knowledge check." Awesome. Yep, that's it. That's a great blueprint. And Pluto said, "Makes sense. I'll remind him of the task. Ask for a screenshot of completion. It's a course called Code with Mosh, paid for already. So waiting to see if he does it. And it's already paid for. You see what, like, you put him in the best position to win, right? And they still don't do it. Like, and that is frustrating. Like, you're a better person than me, Pluto, because I wouldn't even have to ask. I'm like, nah, you ain't getting nothing. You ain't getting nothing. But see, Pluto's a good guy because he's like, you know what? I'm still gonna give you a chance. I'm still gonna give you a chance. I'm like, oh, 2K laptop. All right. You know, so and which is nowadays it's mean this generation isn't what it used to be. Well, this generation isn't the generation it used to be, right? And which is, yep, I'm out. If I check first week, I'm he's 15. Hey, I'm telling you. Sometimes I already my son is like almost 2. I'm like, hey, you got to learn Python by 3. All right, you have 1 year to learn Python, kid. All right, if not, there's gonna be some consequences and repercussions. All right. I'm kidding. When he's 3.5 is his deadline. All right, come on, give me a break. I was just kidding. 3.5. All right, not 3.5. Okay. And it says, just want to accelerate the next generation and avoid my mistakes. Exactly. That is a fact. I got to get my message sound going. But the thing is, right? We didn't have the advice and the guidance and like that. Oh, this is where you want to go and stuff like that. But now we know better, and now we're like, and when we try to teach them better, it's like they want to do whatever they want to do, and that's why I say, do not reward bad behavior. You can show them, you can speak to them, you can show them the you can show them like the benefits and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, when it's your stuff to help and to give, they are like, you're gonna have to have some non-negotiables, And if you want this, then you're gonna have to do this. It's an if-then statement. If you want this, then you have to do that. If you do not do this, then you get no soup for you. Okay? So, and then so it says Python by 3. Kiddo got that Tesla AI implant. No more new diapers if he doesn't learn. Exactly. Sometimes you gotta do some drastic measures, all right? But maybe you'll get diapers. Maybe not. I don't know. We'll figure that out. We'll figure it out when the time comes. Okay. All right. Let's wrap up. We got Day Kiss in the building today. What up, Day Kiss? Great to have you here. How are you doing? Happy to have you here. All right. Let's get back to some little bit more API testing before we wrap it up for tonight. I know since we have like 10 minutes left, but we're gonna make do. Let's go over here. Maybe I'll continue a little bit more with this next week. I was trying to find response aware matchers. Let's see if we could do this, right? So we have the body and we say ID. I think this is gonna work. Yeah, matcher, and then we're gonna say ID. And we're gonna say is 1 or not. Let's see, ID. And maybe that and how did they get the and in there? Let me see. Import static method. Where are they getting that one from? Let's see here. If I go to the top and I do, this one shouldn't be here. Import static io dot rest assured. Rest assured. I don't know where they're getting that one from. Ah, okay, there it goes. Ha, right there. The add method is statically imported. So if we do static, there goes the and we're gonna go down here, and we're gonna say and we're gonna say see. And I just wanted to equal that matcher. Let's see here. Body ID matcher. Let's see. Just wanted to equal. That's what I'm trying to find out in here. Okay, so it would be all right. So there we go. So predefined matchers define here. Let's see if I can import that. Import static here. All right, so if we go here, and I don't know what the options are though. That's the problem. Let's go with equals to path equals, and let's say 1 maybe. I don't know. I don't know the format it's supposed to be in. Let's see that. Let's try that again. Body. Wish I could see more of this. Body string. Response matcher. Let's see. Let me look it up on here. Let me see. Hamcrest matchers. All right, let's look at this real quick. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Let's go here. That's gonna help. All right, so let's see. Assert that the biscuit equal to. So let me copy this one. Copy both of these actually. And let's go ahead and paste. So I'm using Hamcrest matchers in here. I think I might have to import it into, let's see. Let's see if it's gonna find it. Oh, it does find it. All right, cool. So now if I go to, let's get rid of this one. Assert that. And we're gonna say, let me go back over here. Assert that, and then get all comments response dot body. I do. Let's go. I don't really like this way I'm about to do it, but I'm gonna try it out. Extract dot some path dot. Let me see. Get ID is equal to 1. Let's try that one. I don't really like it. It's not the proper way that I would want to do it, but just to see if something is working real quick. Let's see. Let's see why that failed. We got to go into the JSON path. So it failed because I'm looking for this in particular, but it's inside of this array. So we would have to go inside of the array. So we would say, let me see, JSON path. I say get here. I don't think that's going to work. Let's see. Let's see what happens. It's been such a long time since I've used rest assured. ID was used but not defined. Try that. And if that doesn't work, then we're just going to do some good old Googling and Stack Overflowing. All right, let's go to, let's save that one. How to get, how to assert REST assured API response. Getting and verifying response data with rest assured. Let's see what they have on here. So they try to make you feel bad, like continue without support. He goes, okay. All right, we got all that. We got all that. We got all that. All right, validating the JSON response, single JSON object. Body equal to. We got the assert that. We got, all right, so I'm going to get, so we're going to do assert that, body ID and equal to, and then the ID. But we want to go into the list. So we can do, let's get rid of that. Let's say get all comments dot assert that. And then we're going to say body ID. And it's not going to be ID though. It's going to be And then it's going to be equal to and what I'm going to search for is not even sharing another screen. All right, we're going to share rest assured assert that response is that's what I want to do. And see how like Stack Overflow, of course. See and see how like Googling is your friend. Just not this particular one. Okay, so assert that. Okay, so it'd be 0 dot. Okay, so I see what I did wrong. All right, so let's go back over here. And we're gonna say 0 dot ID maybe is equal to or 1. Let's try that one. See what happens. This should work because going down in Python would be using like with the square brackets, but in rest assured it works differently, and that passed, right? So now if we said the same thing, let's copy the line, and we say body, and we take some comment, and then get all, let's say another assert, and there's a body. We're going to say, go into the first one, dot post ID, and then equal to, and that's going to just be 1 because that's going to be an integer, not a string. So here it's a string for the ID. For the post ID, it is a integer, right? So we're going to run that. It also get a pass. Cool. So we have some API tests running in Java. There's more that we can do, but not tonight though. There's more we can do, but not tonight. So what I'll do next week, we're going to finish off with these, right? So we have these, and then let's write some other tests real quick. Actually, I'll move them next week to the other file, but we're gonna do validate error responses with, let's do a to do on that one, with http bin.org. Right, so, and we'll do get errors, post errors, and then we'll do to do validate authentication stuff, and we'll do valid authentication, invalid authentication. All right, so that is what we're setting up for next week. Okay, let's we did one test, right? Bunch of validation. We got connected and everything like that. Next week we're going to continue with this one. We're going to do we're going to quickly do some post, patch, puts, and then we're going to use the HTTP bin to do the errors and some authentication. All right, so didn't do as much as we could have, but we had some fun, learned a lot, very cool stuff. Let's go over here, and we are going to, I'm going to read the chat. Well, actually, before I read the chat, I'm going to share the article that I was talking about before we wrap it up. And it is, let me see if I can find it real quick. Let's see. Okay, here we go. So, this article or this email from the newsletter from Mike Cohen from Mountain Goat Software. Avoid overloading your sprints. And what is that about? So someone asked me the other day, is there a maximum size for a sprint backlog item? The simple answer is yes. A team should not bring any item that is more than half of its average velocity into an iteration. An iteration is a sprint. And velocity is the total amount of points that we believe that we can do within a sprint, the estimated amount. An example, if the team's average velocity, which is how many points they do in a sprint, and the team estimates using the Fibonacci series, the maximum size sprint backlog item would be 13. In general, I'd like items much smaller than that, but half of the average velocity is the max. So why large items create a problem? To understand why large items create a problem, consider a recent experience I had at a hotel. My room was on the 15th floor. That floor also had a handful of meeting rooms, each of which looked as if it held around 20 people. One afternoon, I left my room and went to the bank of elevators. Unfortunately, this was seconds after the meetings let out, sending hordes of attendees surging out of the meeting rooms. I suddenly found myself waiting for the elevator with perhaps 70 people. That's unfortunate. Those elevators, each with a capacity of around 10 people, were not designed for a sudden need to transport 70 people. They were designed instead to transport individuals of small groups of 2, 3, 4, and 5 people. Each sprint is like an elevator. It is very effective when you load your sprints up with a set of small items. Put something large into a sprint, though, and work can back up just like passengers waiting for an elevator. And I can tell you, like, throughout the ages that I've been working in the Agile methodology, when we put these big stories into a sprint, it is a guaranteed disaster 95.628% of the time. Yes, 95.628. This 0.628 is very, very important. So get it right, all right? So some large items are unavoidable. But what if the team needs to bring in something bigger in a certain sprint? My first recommendation is to attempt to split the item up into smaller items. I wrote about 5 simple ways to split stories, which I'm going to check that too. If you can't split it, go ahead and bring the large item to the sprint, but balance its largeness by bringing in some smaller items. Doing so will smooth the flow of work from one skill to another, such as from programmers to testers. Keeping things smaller will smooth the flow of work through an iteration and will help you succeed with Agile. So that's an awesome email. So happy that I read that today. And if we go and we look at this 5 simple but powerful ways to split user stories, I'm going to read this many times because I really need to figure this out. One of the common struggles faced by Agile teams is the need to split up user stories. I'm sure you struggled with this. I certainly did at first. In fact, when I began using Scrum, some of our product backlog items are so big that we occasionally opted for 6-week sprints. What? With a bit more experience, though, the team and I saw enough ways to split work that we could have done 1-day sprints if we wanted. Oh my goodness. But splitting stories was hard at first, really hard. I've got some good news for you. We love good news over here. Not only have I figured out how to split stories on my own, I've learned how to explain how to do so that anyone can quickly become an expert. I need this in my life already. Okay. What I discovered is that almost every story can be split with one of 5 techniques. Learn those 5 simple techniques and you're all set. Even better, the 5 techniques form our easily memorable acronym. SPIDER? Yeah, SPIDER. I introduce each technique below and then the video shows them in action. So we're not going to watch the video, but we're going to read them. S is for spike. That's one you are probably familiar with. A spike is a research activity that can give you knowledge you need to split a complex story. An example might be to build versus buy decision involving new component. P is for path. If a user can do something in multiple ways, that's a great area for splitting. An example might be paying via credit card or Apple Pay. One story could make it possible to pay by card, the next story by Apple Pay. I is for interface. splitting your story by browser or hardware, or delivering a complex interface in iterations. An example might be delivering a version that only works in Chrome this iteration and then saving Safari for another iteration. Yep, that's pretty good. I kind of practice that. D is for data. Mitch, D is for data. You may be able to deliver value in an iteration by simplifying or restricting the data that's supported. For example, don't allow negative bank balances in the first iteration. Add support for those with a different user story in the next iteration. R is for rules. Relaxing support for the rules in an iteration makes a large story smaller. The spider technique is easy to remember, but putting it into action can require a little training and a lot of practice. That's why I put together a better user story video that includes spider method for splitting stories and a whole lot more. Oh, there's a poster that's associated with it too. That's pretty awesome. Anyways, just wanted to share that. I found that very, very useful and informative. So hopefully you did as well. And if you find yourself struggling to deal with large user stories, this is a very, very helpful. Let me drop this link into the chat in case anybody is interested in checking it out. If you struggle with having large user stories, this right here might be your way out. Okay. So with that being said, let's go to the chat real quick, and then we'll wrap it up. Okay, we'll wrap it up. So we say, let's see where to go. So Daykiss Jet says, what's going on? Just finished Java this Sunday. That's what I'm talking about. See, the winners come here. The winners come here. All right, that's what I'm talking about. And are you doing scanner also? What do you mean by scanner? Because like scanner, there's like so many different terms with scanner. Like you can be using it for input. Let me know what you mean. Okay. It says, never mind. I see what you're doing. You're going for, I'm doing the get. And as you saw, I'm going to go for the post, the patch, the put, just very basic stuff. Just to get an introduction, show how it works. But there's like with Rest Assured, there is so much stuff that you can do. Like I was doing authentication. I was like chaining stuff and printing out. It was crazy. Like if I was to show you my framework that I was using to do API testing, you'd be like blown away. And it says, yes, that part is always sensitive. And it says, is Rest Assured free to the public? Also, yeah, Rest Assured is free to the public. I will drop the link to the Rest Assured GitHub repository. But yeah, it's free and it is a great resource. But remember, it's in Java, right? You said you're working on Java, but it's a great resource. Let me see. What's the best? Let's go to here, maybe. I will drop the link for Rest Assured GitHub, but I started using it. Like this is a story behind me using Rest Assured. So I started at this company right back in 2006, and I had to that was like pretty much my first real exposure to API testing. And I downloaded Postman, and I'm doing some API testing, and I'm like, is this what you guys do? Because they had no automation at all. And I'm like, is this what you guys do, like to test this stuff all the time? And they're like, yeah, we use Postman and we do this and that. I'm like, oh, okay. Immediately after that conversation, I Googled, how do I automate testing APIs? And then I was like, okay, they said Rest Assured because I was using Java. I said in Java, right? How do I automate testing APIs in Java? That was my exact Google search. And it said use Rest Assured. I said, okay. I added Rest Assured to my Maven, and I just started using that. I'm like, okay, so all the tests for the APIs, I automated it like in a week or so using Rest Assured. Never had used Rest Assured before. Figured out the matches and everything like that. and boom, now we had automated API tests. Automated API tests. Because I was like, I am not going to be doing this Postman stuff manually all the time. It was ungodly and unethical. I might be exaggerating just a little bit. And let's see what else we got in the chat. So Mitch was like eyeing the data. You know, whenever Mitch hears data, he's like, hmm? This is Mitch when he hears the word data. Yep. All right. And Daykin said thank you. And Pluto says, question: if I feel like I have too much free time at work, have I grown that job? It depends. I mean, it could be that. But I'm always looking, like, I don't know, I'm always looking to explore. And also I do think though it depends on what you do at work and your position and your role and what type of limitations that you might have on there. See, me being in the so let's compare, right? Because I know you're in like the cybersecurity type stuff, right? I think SOC analyst. I could be wrong. I think SOC analyst, right? Correct me if I'm wrong, Pluto. But me, I'm in like the software development team, and although I'm in QA, I'm always like expanding and looking into what the developers are doing, trying to do some infrastructure as code for like my QA stuff. I've done a lot of infrastructure as code in the past, Terraform stuff in the past 6 months to help organize our testing procedures and stuff like that. I'm looking into like working in Docker and stuff like that, so I can help our testing infrastructure. Always looking into things like that, how we can make it better. But I can't really say for like so SecOps, SOC analysts, I can't really say in your position because I don't know like what you guys can expand and explore. But I would always be looking as well, to like, all right, how do I use these other cyber tools? Like back last year, I was installing Grafana and trying to get an application to send the data to it. So those different type of tools. How does like maybe Sumo Logic or what's that other popular one, Splunk, things like that. Different. Just looking to see like how can I what can I do for me to grow and then to also add value, and that way. And a lot of people are like, oh, I'm not gonna do this for my company and stuff like that. But I don't look at it as doing it for my company. I look at it as growing for myself and making my life easier, making the people's lives that I work with easier to add more value into. And then everything that I learned, if I have to go somewhere else, I have like these skills and these tools that I can talk about and I can articulate, and I can I remember when I was in my interview with it was when my current manager was interviewing me, and I spoke about, oh yeah, and in the framework that I did, I used the Google API to connect to Google Sheets so I could feed my test data through there. And he was like, oh wow, that's pretty impressive. I never even heard of that or thought about that. But it's because I just kept pushing. I said, okay, this is what I'm doing, but could I make it easier or more dynamic if I were to figure out a way to do this? And I'm like, all right, I'm going to go figure it out. And I spent some hours doing that. And I solved it. And now so I learned about Google's developer cloud platform, GCP. I learned about the APIs that Google makes available for Google Sheets, Google Docs, Gmail. I even had it where it would connect into Gmail and extract data from an email that it would receive, and then use that data in the test. And that's through the Google API. So it's like finding out what problems and some innovative solutions is what I've always been doing. Now, like I said, I don't know how that falls into your particular role, but always looking to gain more knowledge and make your life easier, which in turn makes everyone else's life easier. So that's how I'd say that. I don't know. I'm curious. We can talk about it later, but I'm curious to see what you think about that. And people says, I guess I don't know how to level up to the next big thing in cyber. Yeah, I mean, that is a good question, and I think that's the research that we have to do. And people says, I work with soft devs, IAM, fraud depth, compliance, and seeing other workflows, but I guess it's leaping or leveling up now. Yeah, and I mean, I don't think that we are meant to stay static forever, so if you're working with them and any of those interest you, like, I think IAM is pretty cool. Like you were saying, it might have like limited positions, but it whatever you can do to expand, that's pretty much the basis of it. But awesome. And Daykiss says Docker is amazing. Oh, man, I am loving Docker. I don't know if you caught this earlier part of the show, but I got Docker Compose working for the application that the tech barbarians are building, where now they can just do Docker Compose up and like pass the build parameter, and then like the whole application just starts up for them. They can go straight into testing, and then when they're done, Docker Compose down. No need to start up a Mongo database and then start up start up the Node app. You just one command and boom, you're good to go. And then when you're done, you just tear it down and then you move on with your life. Really cool stuff. And lastly, for the night, who says, I know a lot of sec tools. I have experience in platform engineering, cloud security projects. Yeah, and I would say build upon that. Maybe it's possible if there's no new opportunities where you're at, that you create opportunities. And plus, you just said you have an interview for a second position. So use the downtime to learn new things. I just say like use the time that's allotted to you to learn things that's going to help you grow inside the company and outside the company as well. All right. So with that being said, that is it for tonight. Thank you guys so much. We had an amazing time. If you guys haven't done so already, do me a big favor, like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you can know every single time that we go live and drop new content. And if you are in need of one-on-one coaching or exclusive content that is not on YouTube, I put a video on the Patreon the other day showing how I use my calendar to organize my time. And, I would highly recommend you check that out. That is www.techcoachralph.dev. The link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat, where you can level up your skills as well as sign up for one-on-one coaching with me. With that being said, I'm going to get out of here. I really appreciate you all. You guys have a wonderful, wonderful night. And Pluto says, appreciate the answers. Good stream. Brick is going up. You know it, right? So before we wrap up, I always like to do, right? My question to you is...
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?
And last but not least, as Pluto already alluded to, as Mitch already knows, yesterday's price will never be tomorrow's price. Or yesterday's price is not today's price. See, getting that wrong. Getting that wrong. Yesterday's price is not today's price. And today's price is certainly not tomorrow's price. All right?
One more thing. Price of the brick going up.
The price of the brick is going up, as Marlo Stanfield said. And with that note, friends, family, you guys have a wonderful, wonderful night. This is Tech Coach Ralph, and we are out.
You might think that getting into the IT field is impossible without a computer science degree, but Tech Coach Ralph is here to prove you wrong. Get ready for some jaw-dropping revelations on how to break into this lucrative industry. Listen up, tech enthusiasts. Are you ready to break through into the IT field, but feel like you need a computer science degree to make it happen? Think again. Tech Coach Ralph has some exclusive, mind-blowing secrets to share with you. Get ready to be blown away by his jaw-dropping revelations on how to break into the tech industry without a computer science degree. So get your notepad ready, because Tech Coach Ralph is going to change your life forever. Buckle up, because you're about to embark on a journey to success in the IT field.